Hi everybody and welcome to our fourth session looking at yoga remedies for some of the problems that arise from sitting, and we're looking at yoga remedies for our lower body, so that's our pelvis, our hips, our thighs and knees and our feet. But let's start off by just checking in with ourselves. So if you take a big deep breath in, take your hands and put the back of your hands on your thighs, and that just opens your chest. Take a big deep breath in. And as you close your eyes, just lower your gaze, or as you breathe out, lower your gaze or close your eyes, whatever feels good. And just check in with yourself. Just see what the weather's like in there. Or just noticing our breath. Noticing the temperature as it goes in and comes out. Just feeling the weight of your body on the chair. Your feet making contact with the ground. And your hands making contact with your legs. You can feel the air round about you. Just being aware of any noises nearby or far away. You're breathing in and breathing out. And just checking in with yourself. Seeing what the weather's like in there today. Just notice how you're feeling. Becoming aware of any areas that feel nice and relaxed, or maybe there's some tension in your lower back, your neck and shoulders. Check in with your ankles and feet, your knees and hips. And in a moment, we're going to open our eyes, but we'll take 3 big deep breaths together first. And breathing out with a big sigh. So breathing in and out. In and out. And one more, in and out, and you can open your eyes. So today, as we've said, we're about to focus on our lower body. But as we know, when we're sitting at a desk all day, that everything's connected. So the way we hold our pen or our mouse or the phone, that starts to look at our alignment throughout our body. And so let's start off by just loosening up. In fact, we'll start with our fingers. So if you just hold your hand out and just pulse your fingers back. Just bringing lubrication into all those small joints in your fingers, pulling your fingers back and the palms of your hands. Just feel that nice stretch in your wrist. And we'll do the same on the other side. So just pulsing your fingers. And then your hand. Spreading your fingers out, just see if we can move them one at a time, circles, just loosening them up and give them a shake out. and just moving onto your elbows, just holding your upper arms into your body and just seeing if you can get a wee bit of movement there into your elbows. One way and then the other way. And be careful not to pull your head back, just tuck in your chin. And then a wee bit of movement in our wrists. So circling one way and then the other. And then just giving them a shake out and just moving on to warming up our shoulders. So if you just take your shoulders up and back and down. Oh, lots of crackling there. Breathing in as you go up and out as you come down. In as you go up and out as you come down. And then just taking one hand here, we'll start to do small circles. Opening up your chest there. And just turning your head to the side, the opposite side, and let your neck drop down before you make those circles bigger. So just breathing in as you go up and out as you come down. Okay, bringing your head back to centre. And then just take your arm out, give that a shake and just feel that nice stretch in the back of your neck. And we'll move on to the other arm. So, centering your head, tuck your chin, you're sitting right up on your sit bones. Small circles back. Then taking your head to the other side and dipping your chin down. You can make those circles bigger. Breathing in. And breathing out. Okay, head back to the centre and just feel that nice stretch in the back of your neck. And we'll just do a couple of seated cat-cows just to get our spine warmed up from top to bottom. So as you breathe out, I want you to start all movement, tipping your pelvis back, rounding your back, and your head comes down last. Your hands are sliding down your thighs. Breathing in, they're sliding up. Start the movement from the bottom of your spine, and your chest comes through your shoulders. Heads up last. Breathing out as you round down and just feeling that vertebra by vertebra. Breathing in, chest through, head up, and then breathing out. And just stay down there and feel that nice stretch. And then coming up, your chest opening, you're just feeling that nice slight back bend. And that's us get a bit of a warm up in our upper body. You can just give your shoulders a wee wriggle there. Now, we talked a lot about some of the problems that we can have with sciatica and with sacroiliac joint misalignment, and with tightness in our muscles and ligaments in our lower legs, and with poor circulation. So we're going to do a wee bit of work to try and tackle some of those issues. Now, one of the things that's really good to start off with is just being aware of where your pelvis is in relation to the seat. And we talked a lot about bucket seat. A bucket seat is where you're tipped forward and this part of your back is rounded. Now, it's often the result of if we're slouching over, and what that does is it makes our hip flexors really tight. And often that goes along with tight, short muscles at the front with long muscles at the back, and that is your glutes can often become very weak and long. And the other thing, that this can give you a lot of problems with sciatica. Now, we talked about how the sciatic nerve is impinged on by the piriformis muscle. Sometimes the nerve goes right through the muscle in a percentage of people, or it sits quite closely. So in these positions, what can happen is that you're compressing the nerve, and this can give us lots of problems. So the first remedy that we looked at was to loosen and lengthen this tight, short piriformis muscle, which, as you remember, comes right through from here to here, and that's just simply by crossing your leg. Now, everybody's knee will be at a different angle depending on how much rotation you can get in your hips, and this varies a lot from individual to individual. And it's got nothing to do with fitness or bendiness. It's really about the angle that the hip goes into, the femur goes into the hip joint. So we'll do that on one side, and then on the other side. And as you know, one side's always different from the other. So just feel that nice stretch right through there. And the other thing that's really good for is to stretch out the piriformis also takes your leg out, known as abduction. So you can take that out, feel that nice stretch. And then bring that back, and we'll do the same on the other side. So just taking it out, feeling that stretch. The scarf or yoga mat or strap, whatever you have, is underneath the arch of your foot, and then taking that out to the side, and you can turn the other way, sitting up tall. Feeling that nice stretch and taking that back down. Often associated with problems that we might have with sitting too is this instability in our sacroiliac joints, and it can be caused simply by the way that you're sitting, because of the way you use your mouth or the phone or the way you're sitting at your computer. I'm going to stand up now, and one of the other ways that we often stand on one leg. You know, if you're waiting in a queue, you stand on one leg. So one of the remedies that we talked about for that were looking at goddess pose. So that's just taking wide legs. You're not tipping your pelvis in into a bucket seat, and you're just standing in goddess there. And you can make this a dynamic pose, coming up, down, or just staying down there, and feel the weight between both feet. You're pressing into the heels. You can spread your fingers here. And just being mindful of the way your hips are placed. Your pelvis is not rolling forward. And then coming up. Another really good way to look at this is to try and get our pelvis in alignment. Now, using a yoga block, or you could stand in a book. And what I'd like you to do, I'll show you first, is we're going to stand on this mat here, and what you're trying to do is you're trying to pull your pelvis up. You're pulling it up, and it's just letting you tilt your pelvis from side to side. And that's equal strengthening in both sides, and that starts to tackle that instability and misalignment that we often have. You're not tipping your pelvis forward, and it's not about hiking this one up, it's about pulling this one down. And then doing the same on the other side. So your foot's on the mat or book, and just making sure your weight's evenly distributed. You're pressing into your heel as well as the front of your foot. You're checking that your hips are not going too far forward, your pelvis isn't rotating back into bucket seat. And then just pressing down, pulling that one up. And just breathing in and breathing out. Okay. That one takes quite a bit of practice, but it's well worth it in terms of looking at your sacroiliac joint and your alignment. Now, we talked a lot as well about some of the difficulties that we have in losing strength in our glutes. And this is a problem that's often seen in people who are who sit by day for their work, and then they do a lot of exercise, because often what happens is, especially with runners, you've got all these very tight hip flexors, tight hamstrings, and they often have very strong thigh muscle, quads, big quads and weak glutes. And one of the ways to lengthen our hip flexors here is by strengthening our gluteal muscles, and I'll just show you some. Now, stand in front of the chair. We want to take one foot back and just point your toe. You're pressing into the heel of the standing leg, checking the position of your pelvis and your chin, and just take that leg back. So just lifting up and down a few inches and just thinking about that action. You can even put your hand to see that that is activating your glute muscles. One of the problems we often see is something called glute amnesia, where they forget how to work because your thigh muscles are so strong and your hip flexors are tight. So just holding that up there. And then doing the same on the other side, so taking your foot back. Pressing into the sole of your standing leg. Taking it up and down. And then just holding that up and feeling that nice squeeze in your glutes. And then take that down. And you can just give your pelvis a wee backwards and forwards. We talked as well about these tight hamstrings in the back of our legs, and one of the things that we can do is we can do a stand behind your chair, get up at any point during the day, and using your chair you can do a lunge. So this is a lunge in fitness language, but in yoga it's the stance that we have when we're doing a warrior one. So you can have your hands in the chair and breathing in. You can take your hands up, let your shoulders slide down your back. breathing there, feeling nice and strong. And Warrior One is a pose that's supposed to really help you connect your mind and body and your breath. So just breathing out as you take your hands down and change sides. So just feeling that nice stretch in your back leg. Getting a firm position. Now you might want to widen your stance, whatever feels good for you. You want to feel nice and strong. And then take your hands up. I'll turn around so you can see me. I mean, one of the things that you can do as well is sometimes taking our hands up in a back bend can be too strong. So what we can do is we can take our hands into what's called cactus. So taking our arms forward, folding them, and then again that's opening your chest. You can spread your fingers. And that's not as much of a back bend. Sometimes when you get problems with your lower back, that could be too much. So just taking that back down. And then we've worked on our hips and our knees, and what's really good to do, we'll finish off with, we'll do a few exercises for our lower leg, our ankles and toes. And just coming forward in the chair, just lifting up your toes. And this can become a very mindful or meditative practice, just trying to move your toes one at a time, lifting. You can set the alarms on your phone to get you going. And I think it is so important that we work on our feet to do with alignment and our posture when we're standing, but it's also about circulation, and when we're moving our feet, we're pumping the blood around our body. So one of the exercises, we'll just start to rotate our ankles. One way, and then the other way. And then moving our ankles one way and then the other way. You can take your foot up. So if you've got very high heels on, and take them down and up, and feel that tightening in the back of your calf, and down and up. And another really good way to do this is you can support your legs by taking them further back, but taking your foot out, and imagine you've got very high heels on, so you're pointing your foot forward, but pulling your toes back towards you and spreading them like Barbie feet. Then you're straightening your foot, but curling your toes away. Point your foot, toes towards you, spread out. Then foot flat, curl your toes away. Barbie foot. And then flat foot, toes curled away. And just give your ankle a wee quick rotation one way and the other. And then taking your foot forward, and we'll do Barbie feet. Flat foot, curl your toes away. Barbie foot. Flat foot. Oh, Barbie foot. And flat foot. And just a wee circle there. Okay, so just let your feet rest on the floor, and you can take one foot back, and another way to stretch the front of our foot. Let's just roll our toes from side to side. Now just do this really gently because the front of your foot can be really tight. One way and the other. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So one way and the other way. Give them a shake out. Okay. I think that's been really helpful to look at all the different ways that we might try to address some of the issues that we might develop with our lower body from sitting. But I think what's really important to remember is that it's all connected. So the problems that we have with our feet can be connected to the movement of our hands. The way we're holding the mouse or the phone can cause our hips to be misaligned, and that has knock-on problems then again for our knees and our feet. So it's just remembering it's all connected. And on that note, let's do a short relaxation exercise for our whole body. So if you want to get yourself comfortable, one of the things that's really good that you might want to do is you might want to sit in the chair to do this. You might want to lie down, or you might want to put your feet up on something, whatever feels good. So I'll just talk you through this. So breathing in through your nose, just notice your breath. And as you breathe out, make a big noise. Now the effect of making a noise as we breathe out lengthens our exhalation, and we know that breathing out for longer than we breathe in helps us to relax. So just do 3 nice breaths like that. Just closing your eyes down, breathing in and breathing out. And just 2 more of those. And we'll just start to become aware of how we're feeling after that short session. You can thank your body for having turned up and taken part. You can think back to when we started and any tension that you were feeling in your neck and shoulders. What's that like now? Becoming aware of where your head meets your neck and just breathing into any tension there. And relaxing and releasing as you breathe out. Breathing in and opening your chest. And as you breathe out, feel your shoulders sliding down your ribs at the back. Becoming aware of where your shoulders meet the top of your arms on the right. Breathe in down your upper arm into your right elbow. You're breathing in and breathing out. Breathing into your right wrist, the palm of your right hand, the back of your right hand, your thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger and pinky. Breathing in, and as you breathe out, becoming aware of the whole of your right arm, relaxing and releasing as you breathe out. breathing in across your shoulders, into your left shoulder, your left upper arm, your elbow, your forearm and wrist, and breathing into the palm of your left hand, your thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger and pinky, the back of your left hand, the whole of your left arm, relaxing and releasing as you breathe out. Breathe in down your spine. Imagine all those little pillows between each vertebra filling up as you breathe in and relaxing as you breathe out. Becoming aware of where your legs meet the chair. Breathing into your right hip, your left hip, the back of your thighs, your knees, calves and shins, the sole of your right foot. Breathing into your right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe and baby toe. You're breathing in and breathing out. Breathing into the sole of your left foot. Your big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe and baby toe. The soles of both feet, both legs, the whole of both legs, both arms relaxing and releasing as you breathe out. Breathing into your jaw, the right side, the left side. As you breathe out, become aware of any tightness in your jaw, relaxing and releasing. Thinking about your scalp, let all the little muscles in your scalp relax. Breathing into the back of your eyes. Let your eyes release and sink down as you breathe out. Your whole body relaxing and releasing. You're breathing in and breathing out. Your whole body. Start to become aware of your breath. As you're breathing in, notice where you feel your breath the most. Start to bring some movement to your fingers and toes. Breathing in down your spine. Feel your chest opening as you're breathing in. And in your next out breath, you can open your eyes. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you again next week.